And to break all that down for us, we're joined by Betsy Rosenberg, environmental reporter and climate commentator. Welcome back to the show. It's good to see you.
Great to be here, thanks.
At the UN, Betsy, you have a younger generation, and they are making their voices heard, perhaps louder than anyone thought that they would. How much of an impact do you think that Greta Thunberg has had so far? And is she the one to succeed where lawmakers, politicians, adults everywhere have failed?
Yes, and do you think we could have Guterres and Greta as president and vice president? Then we might get somewhere. Absolutely, this youth movement, unexpectedly, unpredictably, who would have thought, that a child, a teenager from a foreign country whose second language is English, who is, on the autism spectrum, could be the one who ignites a worldwide movement. So it's absolutely happening in a way that has never happened before. It is not going to go away. Their voices are so compelling. You are ruining our future, they're saying to the adults, and they're asking the adults to do more. I think part of the problem is, at least in this country, people really don't know what to do. And that's what I think the media needs to start focusing on now that the media has woken up and smelled the carbon and suddenly is covering it. So is this youth movement going to change things? Absolutely, because they're not going away. And she's absolutely right. Why should she be having to do this? It's embarrassing is what it is.
Is there something immediately, though, that comes out of this UN climate summit?
Well, there was nothing monumental today. There will be other meetings throughout the week. So it's not over yet, but today was the big day, and we didn't really get any headline grabbers. And that's a little disappointing, I have to say, given all the momentum going into this. I mean, the march was just epic, and people, children, parents, signs, I'll clean up my room when you clean up my environment, and, creative, and there's just so much passion there. These kids are really bright, millennials get it, and our generation, baby boomers, need to get off our gases and start doing a whole lot more. It's an emergency. We are having biblical weather. I mean, it's so evident, and it's so absurd to ignore it.
Very quickly, President Trump made a surprise visit today during the summit, and you saw Greta really gave him a good stare as he was walking by.
I think that was a snarl.
The president said, though, that he thinks each country should be able to determine their own policy instead of hinting that we shouldn't all be part of one big climate accord, that each country has the right to determine their own policy.
Why should we cooperate when there's a global emergency? And okay, fine, Trump, let's start with our nation. Why are you still denying the climate science? And notice that he said, I believe, is regular line, and Republicans too often use line. I believe in clean air and clean water. First of all, he doesn't. He's rolling back water standards, clean water standards. We have a continuing crisis with water in Flint. And it's always code for, but I don't believe in a stable climate. So it's complete BS, complete. How outrageous. And it's in the UN's happening in New York.
We have so much more to talk about, but I have to leave it there. Betsy Rosenberg, thanks as always. Good to see you.
Thank you, Eric.
Okay.